All right, I'm going to just go ahead and get started. Again, this meeting is being, this meeting is being recorded. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Marianne Sargent. I am a Housing and Community Development Supervisor with the County of San Mateo in the Department of Housing. My staff are Tina DiRienzo, who is a specialist, housing specialist, and Christina Kim. Both of them are here with us at the meeting, as well as support crew, Jessica Chambers. I would like to take a moment to request that you introduce yourselves in the chat by providing us your name, title, and organization. I'd also like to remind you that, again, the meeting is recorded and will be posted on the county's website. All of you have entered the meeting on mute, so in order to provide us with any questions or information you need, please use the Q&A tool, which is at the bottom of your screen. Those questions will not be visible to the main audience. We will do our best to respond to those questions during the course of the meeting. If we cannot answer those questions at this meeting, they will be added to the county's website for future reference and an FAQ, a Q&A document. So in August of 2022, San Mateo County Executive Michael Callaghy proposed a plan to achieve functional zero homelessness. This means that the county seeks to ensure that every county resident experiencing homelessness can be safely sheltered in an emergency shelter or in temporary or permanent housing. Given this, the Department of Housing continues this work through this request for proposals. The Department of Housing seeks to first qualify one or more teams to support San Mateo County's response to the Homekey plus NOFA. And second, the county will consider new opportunity sites proposed by applicant teams. Note that any opportunity, that proposing an opportunity site is not a required component of a team's application. Important to note on this timeline, I'm not going to go into real deep details on this, but two key application items are not on this slide that I gleaned from yesterday's webinar presented by HCD. First, they will make the Homekey Plus application available on their website this coming Monday, January 27th. And second, they will require a pre-application meeting. I have not determined when we will schedule the county's pre-application meeting, but I'm sure it'll be a part of whatever communications we will have with the teams who are qualified as a result of the RFP. So just to have a brief overview, the RFP was released on January 15th. By next Friday, we would like to have scheduled individual pre-application meetings. These meetings are mandatory and can be scheduled with Jessica Chambers, who is on the call. You are also welcome to directly message her through the chat to request a slot for January 31st. If January 31st is not possible, I'll take individual requests, but I will generally say that that's the date that I've set aside for these meetings, and we'll try and stick to that date. The deadline for applications for the teams applying for the RFP is February 5th, 2025. The deadline for applications to submit an opportunity site is a week later. That's February 12th. We plan to notify qualified teams by February 21st. And if you are a qualified team, you will be allowed to continue to propose opportunity sites until the county says stop. And we understand that there will probably be kind of ongoing discussions once a team is notified. So, but just to know that February 12th, if you are a qualified team, February 12th is not the absolute deadline, but for specific opportunity sites that you have in mind that you've been working on, please submit those applications by February 12th. March 25th, I plan to go to the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors to request approval to apply for the Homekey program. And by that time, we hope to have the teams identified and sites identified. And between February and April, we're planning to work on an MOU and, establish our working relationship. This is the county has been working on Homekey properties for the last 4 or 5 years. We have a number of properties, multiple units, and are building on established work that we continue to do until this date. And that's pretty much the program that I am managing. Currently, the Homekey program deadline is May 30th. The Homekey Plus program provides for eligible uses that are listed in this slide. There's not a lot of change from prior Homekey rounds. So if you're familiar with Homekey program, this is not going to be a surprise. One comment I wanted to make on this slide regarding types of uses. We have been most successful with the hotels, motels, and existing buildings that are converted to permanent supportive housing. We have 2 properties from prior Homekey rounds that are interim to perm developments. So those are currently considered but not confirmed to be some of the opportunity sites that the county will have on our end to develop. We have also experience in new construction through the Navigation Center that is located in Redwood City. It's 240 dwelling units. It's a shelter that was constructed using modular construction. So we have kind of the gamut of experience doing this work. And so we are welcoming all types of teams and all types of proposals, and we'll provide clear information to you as this process unfolds in the next few months about how we plan to proceed. Homekey Plus has very rigorous requirements that have slightly changed since the prior Homekey rounds. What is not rigorous is the evidence of what has not changed is the evidence of site control that is identified in their NOFA sections 300 and 305. The key important dates are the 60 days after award notification. Either construction or rehab must commence. So projects and the teams need to be well versed, and the due diligence having happened well ahead of the application. And I know it's a tight time schedule, but we do recognize the importance of having an application to this funding available at the state, and have committed staff and time to make these happen. So we look forward to working with our teams. And again, the full occupancy within 90 days of construction completion, which is has been standard. So this again is slightly changed from prior rounds of Homekey NOFAs. Primarily, the total development cost being limited to $450,000 per door, or so which is slightly less than prior rounds. The operating subsidy bonuses for early application submittals and expedited occupancy. We don't expect to qualify for these bonuses just because our efforts on this is somewhat tardy, but we believe that the resources that the county will provide for these projects may make those that may make up for that lack in bonus points. Let's see. I'm going to move right along because I have a lot of slides and I want to open it up for questions if needed. This I want to spend a little bit more time on, which is the expected roles between the county and the teams. So first off, the opportunity sites, the county are working to identify and have existing sites that they plan to develop or hope to develop using Homekey Plus funding. We are in active consultation with the behavioral health department of San Mateo County Health Plan. So there's a pretty direct connection to that resource within the county. What we are hoping that teams can bring are sites of their own. If they have sites that they believe are well positioned for Homekey Plus, that we welcome a review of those sites for working as a co-applicant on an application to Homekey Plus. In terms of matching funds, the county will be identifying and pledging matching funds for both capital and operating subsidies. Those funds have not, the amount of those funds have not yet been determined, but they will be determined by the time we go to the Board of Supervisors in March. What we seek from teams is very specific, pro forma uses with or how the teams plan to use the Homekey funds, and the need of county matching funds that would make the project most competitive. In terms of submitting the Homekey application, the county expects to be co-applicant 1 and the designated Housing and Community Development California HCD contact on the project. The teams the identified co-applicant teams would be, the organization would be a co-applicant 2, and co-applicant 3 would be whatever LLC is established for any opportunity sites, or similar structure. That, at least that's how we've structured it in prior Homekey applications, and we will need to just discuss any different proposed structure. And we will need to lean pretty heavily on our teams as co-applicants, although I and other staff in the department have had experience with prior Homekey rounds. So we do have that experience, but we do plan to lean on our co-applicants to establish the application materials with heavy involvement by the county, or partner, more of a partnership than anything. In terms of the post-award roles, county will be the primary negotiating entity for the standard agreement, and we will manage kind of the team response and all of our communications with HCD, and we will be structuring the terms of the matching funds awarded to the project. Of course, it will happen with negotiations between the county and the teams, but we do have experience in this, and we expect the teams who are applying and that we designate as a partner, we expect our partners to have pretty extensive experience with the Homekey program, because it is demanding and a high need for detail, and these are complicated projects. The teams will carry out the negotiated responsibilities for construction management, property management, and supportive services. And obviously there will be a agreed compensation through the pro forma that we propose to the state. In terms of threshold qualifications, so there's 2 applications. The first application that's due February 5th is application part A, which is basically everything having to do with the team who is applying for the program. Prior experience in permanent supportive housing is highly expected. We want to see teams that have experience with development or rehab of properties in prior Homekey application rounds, property management and supportive services. We are expecting, pretty robust track record of implementing housing first principles. The applicant team will need to demonstrate that they have immediately available and personnel who are qualified to do these types of projects, that have had experience in the last 4 years with these projects. If there are multiple agencies in the team, then this requirement must be reflected in an MOU submitted with the application. This is pretty par for the course. And we also will be checking that the organization is good standing with both the state and the sam.gov website, the federal website. We also, a threshold is that teams need to submit a fully completed Part A application, including all the documentation requested. That is a threshold that we will hold tightly to. In terms of competitive scoring, this hasn't changed much from our Homekey Round 3 RFP. Actually, it has not changed at all. So if people have applied for prior Homekey Homekey RFPs to San Mateo County, you will not find, this is not different from anything. This is not different from the Homekey Round 3 RFP, make that point. So prior experience again will be the bulk of the scoring. So prior experience around the rehabilitation or development process, and past experience with permanent supportive housing, and again, like clear demonstration of Homekey housing first, executing Homekey housing first principles in existing properties. Again, we will be looking closely at resumes of the applicant team, and any agencies that are proposed to be a part of the team. We will be reviewing resumes, and again, making sure that all team members are in good standing. Let's see. Next slide is our opportunity site qualification and scoring. So this would be application part B. and that this application is due February 12th. And again, this is not mandatory, but an optional application. And that is for properties that are your organization has already identified, has been working to make who's working to make a permanent supportive housing project and has not yet had the ability to get it over the finish line. So we will consider opportunity sites. So we will be requesting information on opportunity sites through this application. Location will be scored by looking at where the permanent supportive housing is in the county. We are not at this point specifying any particular part of the county, but there are some areas of the county where we know it will work and where we know it won't work. So, but we are open to whatever properties you plan to propose. And again, similar to other types of application, we do want to see that it's convenient to shopping, services, and transit. We will be looking at the physical condition of the property and the proposed renovation, if it will include, that it meets the minimum unit size for the Homekey Plus program, has the kitchen or kitchenettes as an element of the unit, and also complying with the ADA accessibility, hearing impairment requirements present in the Homekey Plus application. We will also be looking at the feasibility and the so information provided in the development pro forma will be an important element of the application. We will also be looking for physical condition evaluations if there are any available. And the financial feasibility, again, subject to the limitations of the Homekey Plus program. Oh boy. I noticed, so this element right here at the bottom, please refer to RFP and application part B for details, not application part A. Sorry for that typo. The main difference between other Homekey rounds and this Homekey round is the clear targeting, a population targeting for assisted units that serve households with an individual who are experiencing homelessness or who are at risk of homelessness, and that are suspected of having a behavioral health challenge. That's an important piece to the application that has changed from prior rounds. There is specific scoring for this element of the application, and let's see. Yeah, so that's an important piece to this particular opportunity site application, and also something to consider for the application part A. Sorry, I'm just realizing that this also should be discussed in part A of the application. But anyways, this is all of that is to say that Homekey Plus and its reliance on Proposition 1 funding from 2023 has very specific guidelines regarding who these properties and proposed projects will be serving. And I think everybody on the call is probably familiar with that. Let's see, so moving along. So again, the next steps for this RFP are for those who are interested in being a co-applicant with the County of San Mateo, that you schedule your pre-application meeting for January 31st. And this is actually specific to the County of San Mateo. It's not the pre-application meeting that will be required of California HCD. So please note that that is a key, this date is a key date for you to establish a meeting with me to discuss your program. In that meeting, we are expecting, a brief summary of the organization's interest in partnering with San Mateo County. And I also request that you submit your questions in advance of the pre-application meeting if you do have specific questions that are not answered in response to this presentation, the Q&A of this presentation, or if other items come up specific to either your development team or opportunity site. So again, just want to reiterate the application to be considered as a development team are due February 5th. That would be using the application part A, and the optional application part B for proposing an opportunity site is due February 12th. And we just encourage you to continue to investigate feasible sites until and if you do have interest or have specific sites that are not quite ready for the optional application, we still will consider sites. That will be a longer discussion, though, later on in this process. The other key date to our timeline is that we will be notifying teams after February 21st. So after that date, we will provide you with a notification, and then we'll work to establish an MOU, and then eventually, other agreements needed to establish a relationship if we do proceed to apply as co-applicants. I also wanted to bring your attention to some errors that I've already found in the RFP. One primarily was due to the change in the TA session date, given the HCD announcement of their TA session yesterday morning. So these are just a summary of the errors that are currently in the RFP. I will probably also be updating this as needed over the next few weeks. So given that, I will go to our Q&A to see if there are any questions. Let's see.
I don't think that we have any, Marianne, yet. So maybe
okay.
people will want to add questions here if they can, please.
Yeah, I do not see any Q and questions as of now. All right. I think that this meeting or presentation might be short and sweet. I guess I am curious to, is there an ability to have a show of hands of those who might be interested in applying to the RFP? I'm sorry, Tina, what was that?
There is a question that's in the chat.
Okay.
So again, we're looking at the Q&A section, but we'll take this. Awards are expected, quote, early summer 2025. Then, quote, would that be before or after the May 20th CDLAC deadline?
Oh, let's see. Well, so this this application is specific to Homekey Plus. I am so the Homekey Plus application is the end of the application period is May 30th. So if you're referring to the Homekey Plus deadline, you will be notified of any award, or essentially the awards will be the matching funds that will be used for the Homekey Plus application, and those will be announced at the March Board of Supervisors meeting, if not sooner.
There's a request to send the PowerPoint to those participating in the meeting today. Can we do that?
Yes.
Great.
I plan to post this on the website. It'll be the PowerPoint slides plus the recording. Let's see, and I also see on a previous slide you had the date the application would be available. When would that be? Well, so the application for this RFP, those applications are already posted on the website. There's application part A and part B. The state HCD application will be posted on the state HCD website on at least what they announced in yesterday's meeting is that would be January 27th, so next Monday. But the applications part A and B for the county are already available on the website. I'm curious to see if there are any hands, a show of hands, for those who plan to apply for this RFP. I don't see any. Oh my goodness, all of this for nothing. Well, anyways, we do hope to partner with, let's see. Oh, let's see. Sorry, MHA is. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see. So we do hope to hear from you. I think that it's the San Mateo County is committed to providing housing for people experiencing homelessness, and we do want to bolster our permanent supportive housing supply of permanent supportive housing. I think this is an important source, and the connections that our staff have with other programs that will make the properties stable over time, I think is an important resource and partnership that can be developed over time. So I believe if nobody else has any questions, or if there's no other comments, I will end this meeting. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat here for anybody else.
Thank you, Marianne.
Yeah, oh, there's a new message
quite comprehensive.
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and thanks for your attendance.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.